Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. Talk to the Keys. Well, we had some rain over the past couple of days that could be continuing. We'll get your complete forecast here in just a few moments as we move into the 8th of April. Hard to believe it is here already, moving into the middle part of April. And first quarter is already over. We're going to say good morning to our friend George Garrett on the line with us this morning. We'll be talking about Leadership Monroe, which with April here, that means we've got a graduation coming up, George.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely do. And it's we're getting prepared. We can obviously get into the whole thing, but Leadership Monroe County is truly an organization like many other leadership programs that is designed to sort of bring up and coming leaders and existing leaders within communities into a group where they both get to learn about each other, connect different professions, create connections. And of course, that's what happens in Monroe County with Monroe County's Leadership Monroe program.
Talk about leadership overall. How does that accomplish? There's several months of get-togethers, classes.
There are. So the program, we usually have a retreat amongst board members. There is a board. It runs from anywhere from like 15 members to 21 even. And we have a retreat in usually May, so that's coming up. And at that point, we're talking about what we want to do for the next year. And we're also talking about potential new members for the next year, the next class. And of course, every class is the best class. So if you're this year's class coming up, then you're better than the last year's class, at least in your mind. But every class is the best class, of course. And I think if you're somebody in Monroe County, in the Keys, that wants to join the leadership program, I think you could probably look around to almost any one of the professions you're in and find somebody within your organization that's been through Leadership Monroe County. As I was a member of Bolton County at times, and in my career and the city of Marathon, I mean, I know both agencies put people in virtually every year. The sheriff's office has been a huge advocate for us and usually puts one or two people in every year. So I think almost any profession that you would look to in the Keys, there's and it could be banks, literally anything. We've had a member from Keys Marine Lab in there in the past. We've had both the last two, Sarah Fangman and now David Burke are in the program. So it's just far and wide, and a program in which I think it's amazing how much, I've been here 42 years now, and I was leadership class 24, which is now almost 10 years ago. And I've been here for 30 years by then and still went through the program and clearly learned something. And it's just a question of what class or what session really is your weakness point, and then in the program, that's the session where you learn the most. But running through it really quickly, I mean, there's 9 sessions. Environment, and for this first one, and we go out to the Everglades, starting up at Keys Marine Lab, and going to the Aqueduct facility in Homestead, and then running out to Everglades City. And as we all know in Leadership Monroe County, what happens in the Everglades stays in the Everglades, because that's a 3-day event and things happen.
There's no video or pictures online about that.
Exactly. Or share them. But the next session is a tourism economy session. And frankly, that's an incredible session, usually held in Key West. And frankly, I think that helps everybody learn a little bit about what it is to work and function in the Florida Keys. And one of the things we've begun to do now is in every session we do, and there are 9 sessions, we try to create a history surrounding that particular element of the class. So tourism is where we well, actually environment, but tourism was our second session typically, and we're talking about how the tourism economy works, which we talk about TDC. We talk about certainly the hotel motel industry, which is drives so much of that. The people that support that, like the hotels, restaurants, dive operators, et cetera. So tremendous amount learned there about how our tourism works and how important it is to our economy and our way of life here. Next couple of sessions are human services and healthcare. Human services, it ends up being a really interesting one because it really teaches everybody how difficult it is to live in the Keys. I mean, and just to throw something out, I mean, Alice is a program that United Way usually puts a document out on and really elucidates how difficult, not only in this area, but throughout the nation, it is to survive essentially. And there are people within the Keys, almost 50% of the population of Monroe County and the Florida Keys fit under the Alice category. They work, they go to work every day, they're functioning, they may be working multiple jobs and yet are having a hard time surviving. And so almost 50% of our population fits under the Alice category. And so the Human Services Program really teaches you how difficult it is for that 50% of the population to survive here. A very revealing session. One of the really fun sessions we have is the military session. We're now doing that as a 2-day session. And we go see Army, Navy, not so much the Marines, but the Coast Guard. We have lunch at the Coast Guard station. We work with the military, the Navy, and it's just absolutely amazing. We go see the dive operations out on Fleming Key. We get to go see all the aircraft out on the Navy base. We tour the Coast Guard and usually get a ride on one of the Coast Guard cutters, or at least go visit one. And that's a session that just absolutely, I think everybody loves. Next session is a law and judiciary. So we start out in the courtroom down at Key West, and then, move over via a jail vehicle to the jail facility over on Stock Island and have lunch over there, but get a tour of that jail. And I think everybody is just amazed when we do that, how efficiently that operation is run. The sheriff has always been a huge advocate of, again, the program, and he's always at that session to highlight what it is they do in law enforcement and providing the services they provide at the jail facility. We just got done a week or so ago with the education government's session. Of course, this year we went to Coral Shores and had a really wonderful presentation by the students and obviously the educators at Coral Shores. The superintendent was there, and then we moved into the government session and went to the Murray Nelson Government Center up maybe a little bit further up in Key Largo. And so again, how much of our lives is surrounded by the education program, and then honestly the government program. And particularly if you're thinking government, gee whiz, if you're in the contracting industry, if you're in the real estate industry, if you're doing construction, if you're a homeowner seeking to buy property, how much of our government affects your lives. Coming up actually this Friday, we have the arts and culture session, and that's it's really a fantastic session where we literally kind of it's a if you don't get your steps in that day in Key West, going to all the various arts and cultural sites within Key West, you lose a pound or two while you're running around. And then finally, we end the program with emergency management, and that's actually ends up being a 2-day event, and we have graduation on the second day. Which leads me to that graduation program, which I think is why we were going to talk today.
Yeah, partially. I was just going to interject real quickly. We did want to highlight Leadership Monroe County overall, and that's why we're speaking with George Garrett. He is the president of Leadership Monroe on Good Morning Keys. And there are so many. I just was going to mention before we get into the specific spring event, there are so many alumni everywhere we look. There are alums of Leadership Monroe, which of course has been bridging the Florida Keys since 1992. But so many of our community leaders are graduates of Leadership Monroe. This has given them a tremendous perspective to take with them as they continue to lead us. Many community contributors are alums as well. It's amazing what the program has done. You've got a really strong class again this year, which is typically the case, but you've got over 700 alumnus, I guess is the word, of the program.
Alumni.
Alumni. Thank you. Alumnus, I guess, is singular. 700 plus, plural, throughout the county who have continued to contribute in so many ways, building on a foundation given to them by Leadership Monroe.
Well, and I'm going to say, just thinking about this, who's who in the leadership program.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the county commission, and that's probably a good place to start. Jim Scholl is on the county commission. He's been through Leadership Monroe County. Holly Raschine has been through Leadership Monroe County, and so is the mayor, Michelle Lincoln. And, one of the things that as a government or as government representatives in the Keys that we all do is go to Florida Keys Day. And gee whiz, Holly Raschine's class, and I don't remember what class she was in, it's been a little while now, essentially developed that as their class project. And every year, each class does a class project. That was hers. And if there's a legacy coming out of the leadership program, that's certainly one.
Yeah.
And what a fantastic thing. But so,
and I didn't mean to divert
ahead,
you.
sorry.
I want to pivot back to the Keys Together Spring Festival as well, but just highlighting the impact that Leadership Monroe has had over the years. But we're going to graduate another class of 33, Saturday, May 2nd, coming up, celebrating our island community, building bridges. The graduation ceremony has turned into a big festival now.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we used to do a traditional graduation type event, sort of like you would think of prom night or something like that through high school and college. But we really decided that was costing us a lot of money. That's okay. But on the other hand, it was costing us a lot of money. We run a pretty tight program expense-wise. So we decided, and this was I think you have to give Colonel Lou Caputo is one of our graduates. He's on the board. It was his idea, and it was one of those things where he thought, well, gee whiz, we can present ourselves to the community. We can keep our costs down by doing a graduation program in a festival style. We can highlight some of the things that people are doing within the community. So, okay. Leadership Monroe County, as you just said, bridging the Florida Keys since 1992. The program this year is Keys Together Spring Festival. We're going to have all sorts of vendor booths. We're going to have public information booths. And so if you are interested or want to come, take your choice. So you may want to come and be interested. You can have a booth at the festival. If you're a nonprofit, the booth space is free. If you're a vendor, the booth spaces are $100. And if you're a food truck, we have a number of food trucks coming, and cover kind of the gambit, anything from solid good food to, the fun stuff like donuts or ice cream. The food truck spaces are $150. So nonprofit, zero, vendors, $100, the food trucks, $150. We usually have a band or at least some sort of entertainment. And one of the highlights always is, and this is part of the law program that we bring to the event at graduation, and that is to bring the Key West horses, the horse patrol, up to that event, and usually the dogs as well, their dog team. And I believe usually we have the Coast Guard and some of the military there, usually boosts from the emergency management folks. I know that many of the environmental groups will be there. And again, those are sort of the nonprofits. So where it's going to be this year, again, May 2nd, starting at 11 a.m., running to about 6. And we will be at Oceanfront Park, which of course is the park immediately behind the City of Marathon offices, City Hall. And we've been working at Community Park, which of course is over around 30-some-odd Street, 33rd Street. But because they're replacing the fields there right now, we are at Oceanfront Park this year. Great event. We're going to do a good portion of it under the big tiki back there. And if you are interested in being a participant, you can get online with, leadershipmonroecounty.org. And immediately on the front page, there is a flyer that again gives you sort of all the basic details about the event. And then there's also an application form for a booth. And again, it's $100 for a booth space as a vendor, $150 for a food truck, and of course free for nonprofits. We expect, I think right now we've got, I believe it's 18 nonprofits there. We have quite a number of food trucks. Again, many of the things like the Horse Patrol will be there. And it's just going to be, I think, just a wonderful event. Of course, the purpose for that event, as I just said, is the graduation. So we'll also have a graduation ceremony for Class 33. So
yeah, it's going to be a great event.
Good things going.
Yeah, Keys Together Spring Festival. One of our radio stations is going to be there for a while as well, celebrating with the graduates. Saturday, May 2nd. Starts at 11 a.m. Oceanfront Park Marathon. Do go to leadershipmonroecounty.org to become a vendor and to participate in the Spring Festival. And we invite all to come out and celebrate with the new graduates. Live music, local vendors, artisan crafts, food trucks, family activities, Kids Zone, all happening there at Oceanfront Park in Marathon. So that's going to be a great event to celebrate Leadership Monroe in the class of 33.
Yep. And I've had to say one of my tasks for the day,
yes,
since we had a board meeting last night on Zoom, was make sure Michael Stapleford's going to be there.
Ooh, okay. You're the heavy then. All right. I will be.
I know I had talked to you a month or two ago, and it said, "Yep, I think I can put it on my calendar for at least part of the event day." And they were making sure that I connected with you again. So.
Well, tell them all. Thank you for including me and inviting us, and we will be honored to be there as well. So with that, again, May 2nd, go to leadershipmonroecounty.org. Great opportunity to find out more about the program and how it can benefit you personally and the community at large. So, George, I should let you get back to your day. Anything else we should add at this time before we talk
the only
again?
thing I would add in addition, since I live in Marathon and I'm kind of used to the streets and all that.
Oh, yeah.
And not everybody, if you live in Key Largo or coming up from Key West, knows precisely where Marathon City Hall is, and then where Oceanfront Park is behind it. So between 98th and 99th Street in Marathon, which is kind of the east end of or across from the east end of the airport, is where Marathon City Hall is, and then behind that Oceanfront Park. So again, Thanks very much for the time we've spent this morning.
Yes.
It's a great program. And I really didn't say anything about how long that program runs, but typically we start the environment session in October. We end the last session, emergency management, in May. The commitment to be part of the program is obviously you have to be at all of those sessions and be willing or able to meet once a month for basically a day to 3 days each month. And, that's not always easy for everybody, but it's a commitment that I think is well worth making.
Well put. Yes, it is a commitment, but the benefits, they're self-evident, really, once you talk to the graduates. George Garrett, he's president of Leadership Monroe County. George, and I want to thank you again for your years of service to our community, which you continue to do. You've continued to serve, and we appreciate that so very much.
I'm here. And I have to say, obviously we had a very nice conversation a couple of weeks ago, and I appreciated that. But
yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm for me, I'm the president of Leadership Monroe County. I'm also the president of Crane Point Hammock. Yay, Crane Point Hammock in Marathon here.
Yes.
Great program there, and I'm on Marathon Rotary. So all of those commitments are still there, and although we're trying to figure out just exactly what I do in my quasi-retirement for now a couple weeks.
Sabbatical,
yeah, sabbatical. There we go. But I'm still here. We're staying here. We're figuring out our next steps, but we ain't going anywhere. So all good.
Good to hear. You have contributed. You continue to do so. Very happy to have you continuing as a part of our community here. Thank you for all that you do, George. Have a wonderful morning. We will talk and see you very soon. Yeah, good deal. Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate all the time you spend with it. Thank you, sir, very much. You take care. Yeah. It is. Bye-bye. Yes, sir. George Garrett. He is president, Leadership Monroe County, among other roles. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. We'll return with more Good Morning Keys in a moment.
Key West authentic Irish pub, dining, and rooftop lounge is Celtic Conch Public House, 528 Front Street. The Celtic Conch always features delicious Irish cuisine and tasty pub grub with more than 40 Irish whiskeys, specialty cocktails, and local drafts. Ask about their daily food specials, including kids 12 and under eat free on Wednesdays when ordering from the kids menu with adult purchase of at least $25. Limit 2 children per adult, dine-in only. Plus, the best in live entertainment. Monday, it's Dean Dunleavy from 8 to 11. Tuesday, test your knowledge with trivia from 7 to 9. Wednesday features Just George from 8 to 11. Thursday, Milo performs live from 4 to 7, followed by Dave Minneberg from 8 to 11. Friday, Dean Dunleavy returns from 5 to 8, then Milo entertains from 8 to 11. Saturday, come back for Dave Minneberg from 5 to 8 and Just George from 8 to 11. Then Sunday, Tony Roberts plays live from 3 to 6. Celtic Conch Public House, 528 Front Street, Key West. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Salancha.
The Greenhouse. Have you been there yet? We even spell it with 3 E's to help you smile when you say it. That's our goal. We carry the largest selection of hemp-derived THC and CBD products in Monroe County. If you've been taking medication for anxiety, depression, inflammation, lack of sleep, or muscle and joint pain and it's just not working, or you don't like the side effects, we can help. If you're looking to chill, relax, escape, focus, or even break out into euphoric fits of laughter, we can help there too. No medical card is needed. You just have to be 21 or over. Our 3 locations are open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. In Key West, we're at 431 Front Street, just in front of Mallory Square. In Marathon, you can find us at mile marker 52 at 10875 Overseas Highway. In Key Largo, we're at 99304 Overseas Highway in the middle of the road. Swing on by, share your goals with us, and we'll recommend a product to help you reach them. And we back our recommendations with a 100% money-back guarantee. The Greenhouse. Stop on by and find out what the buzz is all about today.
Visit one of the 12 locations of the Greenhouse, including 9 in the Keys and featuring their newest store at 3128 North Roosevelt, Key West.
It's time for a new point of sale system for your business. But you say, I can't afford a new system, so I'll just put up with another year of high processing fees and no service or support. Hi, I'm Mike Kraus, president of Sales Sense Payments and resident of the Florida Keys. And I'll give your business a free point of sale system. That's a value up to $10,000. All that we ask is that you process your credit cards through Sales Sense Payments. No gimmicks or contracts. After you and I meet for a consultation, which is also free, Sales Sense Payments will set up your business with the most cost-effective point of sale solution using more than our 25 years of experience and relationships with more than 20 vendors. Start the year off by saving money and processing fees with a free point of sale system from a local company that consistently delivers local support and transparency in the Florida Keys. That's Sales Sense Payments. Call me, Mike Kraus, at 305-723-1234 to get started. 305-723-1234 or visit us online at salessensepayments.com and check out our 5-star review on Google.
Hey Key West, Danny Hughes here from Two Friends. Really from Two Friends. So Maura and I were sitting at breakfast in the bar listening to live music at 8:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. She's about to enjoy some huevos rancheros and me shrimp and grits with fried oysters. Heart healthy. And Maura says, Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. It was perfect because we didn't move here because Key West is like a lot of other places. We moved here because it isn't like any other place on earth. So meet your friends or make your friends at Two Friends, 512 Front Street in Old Town, Key West, or twofriends.com.
The voice of Monroe County, yours. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. We are back already. How about that? 8:36 now, and we're going to say good morning to, as we just heard, Community Engagement Coordinator. It's Taylor Berard with us from Mote Marine Laboratories. And good morning to you, Taylor. How are you?
Good morning, Michael. I am good. It's a beautiful day.
It is. A little bit of cloud cover in the lower Keys. That's all right. It's always a beautiful day here in the Florida Keys. And we want to talk. Let's first off talk about Mote Marine Laboratory. People have probably driven by it on Summerlin Key many, many times. Maybe some people have wondered, hey, what goes on over there? Well, a lot goes on at Mote Marine Laboratory and Aquarium at several locations, but specifically here in the Florida Keys. Let's talk about Mote Marine, some of the research it does, educational programs, and the like.
Yeah, so like you said, especially the building in Summerlin on mile marker 24, which is our office down here. People are constantly wondering what the heck is going on in there. It's 19,000 square feet of research space. I'm actually very, very happy to announce this is the first time I'm actually able to, in months, that we are resuming our public tours over there at the lab in Summerlin. So our parking issues have gotten resolved. We're able to welcome the public back there. Those tours are at 10 a.m. on Tuesdays, which I can tell you more about, but it's a great opportunity for anybody of all ages to come through the lab. We start on the first floor with all of our coral raceways in our land-based nursery. And then we take everybody through the wet labs, the dry labs. They get to talk to the scientists, hear what they do specifically there at the lab. It's very interesting. And I always tell people that when they get there, they're like clueless, obviously. I mean, nobody knows anything. And then once you leave, you are a pro. And you could go on and teach other people about coral and how important it is. Because that's a lot of it. Right there.
That's awesome. So Tuesdays at 10 a.m., you said?
Yes, every week. They are free, open to the public, and you can sign up on our website at mote.org/keys tours. And then it has the options for all of our locations on there. You just select Summerlin, and then there we go.
Oh, so you do sign up online prior to, but Mote's Elizabeth Moore International Center for Coral Reef Research and Restoration. That's a mouthful, but there is a lot that happens. And it mentions International Center. You do have international reach there at Mote Marine in Summerlin. You have people from around the world who come to learn more and take, some of this technology, some of this know-how around the world to benefit to not only our reef here, but elsewhere as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Fun fact, that building was built in 2017, right before Hurricane Irma. So it's not even 10 years old. But in the last couple of years, especially, we are more and more world renowned. So we have people that visited one time from Thailand, Taiwan, literally all over the world. And then they tell their scientist friends, and then they come the next year, especially during the summertime specifically. But it's crazy. We have those dormitories on the side of the lab, and no day is ever the same. It's so cool. People hustling, bustling in and out of there. They do experiments with our scientists, and they will use some of our equipment. We have a chaos machine outside, which is essentially a stress test for coral and animals. It is a climate acidification ocean simulator. And so essentially it can mimic different temperatures, different pH, salinities, blah, 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 for coral or other animals before it gets released back into nature. That's just one of the crazy high-tech things that we have. But people do travel all over the world to use our equipment, collaborate with our scientists, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. Again, Taylor Berard with us. She's a community education coordinator for Mote Marine Laboratory and Aquarium right here in Summerlin Key, Florida, world renowned. As you're just constantly coming up with new technologies, new techniques to help restore the reef. And you were gracious enough to give me a tour of the facility as well, where I learned a lot that I did not know previously, including ways that we are now regenerating coral at, a pace that was unheard of just a few years ago.
Yes, it's definitely a game changer. What Michael's talking about is this fancy process called microfragmentation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's exactly what it sounds like, where we cut up coral into smaller pieces, essentially. And then when they outplant them like a pepperoni pizza, they fuse back together and grow really fast. And coral is not a fast-growing animal. So therefore, we can do everything that we can to try and speed up this process to help get the reef back so it is able to reproduce on its own. That's what our scientists are really focusing on right now, essentially, is to be out there patching these in-between areas, because coral only reproduces on its own one time a year. And it's not very successful. So we're trying to make it more successful every year.
Wow.
So it's working. It takes a village. We're very, very grateful to have such a great team and other like-minded people that are trying to get this reef back healthy again. It takes a village for sure.
Well, all hands on deck, and Mote Marine Laboratory and Aquarium is an essential part of restoring our reef here. We'll talk about the building itself there on Summerlin at another point, because it's fascinating. With being the first U.S. Green Building Council LEED Gold commercial certified building in Monroe County. That's a whole another topic unto itself. But let's also talk about raising awareness for Mote Marine, raising support for Mote Marine and its research and outreach and initiatives. We're going to be doing just that in a very fun way. Ocean Fest, community celebration coming up just in a few weeks, Saturday, April 25th at Truman Waterfront Park. So we're going to have a big celebration that day.
Well, I know. We have people signing up every day. I'm so excited. We are at over 60 vendors right now, which is the most I've ever had in my 3 years of doing it. So I'm so excited. But if you're unfamiliar with Ocean Fest, essentially it is our annual celebration down here in Key West. We are essentially bringing together everybody that is a scientist, conservation groups, local artists, even families, and they all come out for a fun day. Everybody gets to learn about the marine environment. We all feel so lucky to live here in the Keys, and it's just a day that is always so special too. While we're all having fun, we're also, very, very aware of the ocean that is also right next to the park, which is awesome. Works out perfectly. And while the live music is going on, you just get to walk around and talk to all of these vendors. And we'll have our Mote scientists there. We'll have a mechanical shark that you will obviously have to sign a waiver on before you get on it.
Good idea.
But you will try to stay on it for as long as possible. Good luck. That's always a hit. We'll have water slides, kid zone, Turtle Hospital brings their turtles every year. Really, really excited for it.
Yeah, again, we're speaking with Taylor Berard. She is Community Engagement Coordinator, Mote Marine Laboratory and Aquarium on Summerlin Key, talking about Ocean Fest 2026. Saturday, April 26th, Truman Waterfront Park, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Annual outreach event raising awareness of Mote Marine Laboratory and its coral research and coral reef research and restoration. It is a fundraiser. We need funds ongoing to support Mote Marine. We need community involvement to support Mote Marine, and it's also part of the educational initiative. So we encourage all to come out, especially families. We're going to have the Kids Zone there, and it's an opportunity for the next generation, so to speak, to learn about Mote Marine firsthand and to get involved.
Thank you for that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I actually need to do a little segue, and you kind of just led right into that.
Let's do it.
When it comes to the fundraising and the support, especially for Ocean Fest,
Yeah.
we're really, really reliant on our sponsors every year.
Mhm.
We had the most sponsors that we've had this year. We're super, super grateful. And if it's okay, I'm just going to thank every organization. It'll
Absolutely.
take about 30 seconds.
Please.
But I do want to give them all credit when credit is due, because it wouldn't be possible without their support every year.
Yes.
We have Berkshire Hathaway down here in the Keys donated. We have the Cheryl Cates Memorial Foundation, which I'm biased, but I think that's my favorite one on
Fabulous.
there. That was my Mimi. We love giving back to the community whenever we can with that foundation. So obviously, Cheryl Cates Foundation is going to support Ocean Fest every year. We have the Florida Keys Brewing Company, which comes down. They donate their beer. They'll have their beer truck out there on the grass, serving it. 21 and up. Please drink responsibly. We will have Florida Keys Eco Discovery Center, which is right next door, sponsoring the event. And they are going to have the center open with their air condition and bathrooms. And we're going to have more of a hands-on kids experience inside there. And then we will do a talk in the theater inside, which we can talk more about. We have the Galleon sponsoring Half Shell Spirits, which is the world's first not reusable. It's made out of recycled cardboard. They're liquor bottles, which is super, super cool. They're going to be out there sponsoring the event. Keys Energy, they come out. They give the kids bucket truck rides in their awesome energy trucks, which is super fun. We have Keys Weekly, the Key West Aquarium, Noble House, and Pier B, and Waste Management, and the Women's Club. We are super, super grateful.
Well, yeah, it does take a village. The community comes together. Hopefully, we'll always come together to support Mote Marine Laboratory. Also, a huge thank you to your family and the Cheryl Cates Foundation for all that your family has done in our community and continues to do ongoing in so many different ways. And one way, as of late, is supporting Ocean Fest and Mote Marine Laboratory. Again, that is coming up April 25th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Truman Waterfront Park. It is free to all who attend, I believe.
Yes, it is. You might spend some money at all of our awesome artisan vendors and the food trucks and stuff, but you are more than welcome to just walk in. Also want to mention a lot of people will bring like blankets or towels, hang out in the lawn, and we will have tents in the middle of the field, in the middle of the park for seating. We'll have tables. They're close to the stage, close to the kid zone, giving people areas to sit and hang out to.
Oh, it's a great community event, and congratulations on the participation we're seeing again this year, but there's always room for more. What's the best way for people to still get involved? We can still get some sponsors on board, I assume?
Absolutely. If you want to go on to mote.org/OceanFest, we actually have a signature event page on our website, and on there should be a link for you to sign up as a vendor. You will need to create an account on Airtable. People often are a little confused when they have to create an account, but I think the system updated and it just does that now. I'm not sure why, but that is the right page. You create an Airtable account, fill out the survey, and then it goes into our system, which adds you as a vendor for Ocean Fest.
Okay, very good. Well, all are encouraged to still participate and then show up that day in a big way to support Mote Marine Laboratory with Ocean Fest, a community celebration happening Saturday, April 25th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., Truman Waterfront Park in Key West. It is Taylor Berard, Community Engagement Coordinator, with us from Mote Marine. So, Taylor, we've covered the most of the bases here this morning, but what else should we be mentioning here for the common good?
So I also want to mention our social media.
Yes.
Sometimes people aren't aware that we have a Keys-based social media down here. We do have our major big account on social media that is Mote Marine Lab. We are based out of Sarasota, and so that is we do research all over the globe. It'll post about that. They post about our aquarium, and sometimes they post about us in the Keys. But we do have Protect Our Reefs, just like our license plates that we have, and they go back to coral reef research and restoration. Actually, every single time you see somebody with that Protect Our Reef license plate, they're supporting Mote. Yay!
Yes,
But
yes.
our Instagram and Facebook and everything like that down here is also going to be Protect Our Reefs. I'm really excited because Ocean Fest will have our big inflatable license plate out there. We'll have our big inflatable walk-in exhibit. We'll have a lot of Mote presence at the park that day, which is really fun.
That is awesome. Well, Taylor, I'm sure you've got a busy day to get to. Just a few weeks and counting till Ocean Fest coming up, unless there's anything else we need to mention at this time.
I know it's going to be here before we know it, but I'm very, very ready.
Great job with it. Excellent job pulling this off once again. Although I think the new slogan should be "Woot Woot, it's Ocean Fest."
I might have to do that when I'm emceeing the event. I definitely can put a spin on that.
I like it. I can see it on a t-shirt now. That's awesome.
Oh, I love it. And thank you again, Michael, for everything. Michael is also going to have somebody from his radio station there at Ocean Fest.
Yes.
Woo woo.
Yeah, woot woot. We will be on site for sure. Wouldn't miss it. Thank you. That's going to be awesome. Well, Taylor,
Thank
you have a fabulous day here. We will talk to you and see you very soon.
You too. Looking forward to talking to you soon.
Indeed. Thanks for all you do. Taylor Berard, Community Engagement Coordinator for Mote Marine Labs with Ocean Fest coming up. That is, again, Saturday, April 25th, just a few weeks away. Going to be a huge community celebration. Go to mote.org to find out more. Keys Talk, 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. No major incidents being shown up and down US 1 for now. We'll keep an eye on that for you as we continue with more of Good Morning Keys in a moment.
There's more Good Morning Keys in just a matter of moments. Wanda Kiefer is going to be with us this afternoon at 4:31. Please make the appointment, 4:31 this afternoon on this very radio station, because Wanda's going to talk about Royal Curacao. This is a Sandals property, and here she is right now. Say good morning, Wanda.
Good morning, everybody. How are we?
Well, we're going to be a heck of a lot better once we find our way for a flight, a little bit of a coach ride, and then on property. Maybe it's golf, maybe it's a food truck, maybe it's fine dining, certainly beach time. This Royal Curacao property is remarkable looking. And you, if memory serves me correctly, tell me if I'm right here. Is this where you renewed your vows?
I did. I renewed my vows for 10 years, and it was the first time that we had branched out and went to another Sandals, and I was just blown away. It is an amazing, amazing resort. And the good thing, Pat, it's below the hurricane belt. So that's a big plus when you're traveling in the summer.
Okay, so we've got golfing on scene, Sandals Royal Curacao. Between the time now and our visit this afternoon, find your way to the web and find the Sandals property, Royal Curacao. That one picture says it all. And All Seasons Vacations, that's the company you're going to travel with. Wanda takes care of everything start to finish. All right. So the travel expert, 20 plus years, very familiar with all the Sandals properties. For the kiddos and the grandkiddos, that's beaches. But these are all inclusive. You're taking that wallet, it's going in the safe, and you're going to go find a lovely drink, a lovely bite to eat, some unbelievably new people and new friends you're going to make. So it's a date, you and me, Wanda, right? This afternoon at 4:31. You're going to be here.
I'm definitely going to be there.
Okay. So at 4:31, let's make it a date right now. Royal Curacao will tell you the story. In between now and then, look at allseasonsvacations.net. Travel expert. Allseasonsvacations.net. Allseasonsvacations.net. And Wanda Kiefer, your friend in the business.
Hey folks, Stephen Bender here at Keys Auto Center. It's Chevy and GMC Truck Month. We have the largest inventory of new Silverado and Sierra trucks we've ever had. More selection, more trims, more options than ever before. And every in-stock new Chevy and GMC truck is backed by our local deal match guarantee. So come see the people you know, like, and trust on the Boulevard or at KeysAutoCenter.com. We've got the keys.
Good morning, Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys, and just making sure here, refreshing to... Yep, no major incidents being reported up and down US 1 this morning. That is good news. 7 Mile Bridge run, however, that will cause a traffic issue for you between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. this Saturday. 7 Mile Bridge completely closed down to any traffic other than foot traffic for the 7 Mile Bridge run. If you have a need to get across the bridge going north or south during that time, it will not happen. We've been talking about it, and you have fair warning. Please be prepared with alternative plans. We're going to say good morning to John Bardis. He's the administrator for the city of Key Colony Beach. Good morning to you, John.
Good morning, Michael. How are you today?
I am doing well. Good to see you, as always.
Good to be here. We're talking about the 7 Mile Bridge Run. That is the strangest gig I play every year. It is. I show up there at like 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning with a PA system and a guitar, and I've been playing the Bridge Run almost every year since like the middle 80s. So It's a strange gig, but it's fun. And where else can you get together with a bunch of the fittest people of your life and drink Michelob Ultra at 9 in the morning?
Nowhere other than the 7 Mile Bridge Run. Are you stationary the whole time? They should just kind of,
No, I stay at the because they recently, the last few years started running the Bridge Run again from west to east, and it ends up in Marathon, and it's over at Isla Bella Resort.
Correct.
And so I set up a little stage on one of the porches of that little area, their little courtyard behind the shop there. And that's where all the runners gather after the Bridge Run, and it's a great party.
I think they ought to just pull you along in a cart, have one of the...
I think that'd probably be a really bad idea.
It'd be fun. Anyway, let's talk about Key Colony Beach. You have a rich history in Marathon, of course, as well. And now the administrator of Key Colony Beach, lending your expertise and know-how and relationships there. We do have a city meeting coming up here, so we wanted to give a couple of highlights on that.
Well, what's coming up on April 16th, one of the highlights of the meeting is, as I mentioned to you on the break, emergency management. I mean, we're going to adopt, hopefully, our city's comprehensive emergency management plan, which we haven't had in the past, and we'll finally get that done and be able to submit that to the county and get that okayed. And once we do that, we're also going to be an active participant in the county's upcoming hurricane exercise, which is going to be May 29th. And I've sat in on the preliminary meetings for that. And that is a really good exercise that happens. They put up the Emergency Operations Center at a test activation level for a hurricane event that's going to hit the Keys, and we will not know exactly what the parameters of the mock disaster is going to be until that actually happens. So we'll be able to react in real time the way we would have to in an actual emergency. So this is coming up on May 29th, and I do want to give a couple of great shout outs to our partners in this. Corey Schwizzo from Monroe County Emergency Management. He's their emergency management director. He does a lot of good work for the county and all the municipalities down here. as our emergency management director. We all look up to the county on this. And then also want to give a big shout out to Marathon Fire Chief James Moreau. And we contract with the city of Marathon for our fire and EMS services. And Chief Moreau has been a huge help in our attempts to bring Key Colony into the emergency management, bring us current into that fold. So big shout outs to both of those guys.
Yes, it is John Bardis. He's the administrator for the city of Key Colony Beach, and we are approaching that dreaded hurricane season. We could have an interesting one again this year, but we always need to remain vigilant and make sure that people are not kind of slacking off, for a better of a term, with their preparedness. And that is something you are constantly making sure that it doesn't happen with the Key Colony Beach and all of the emergency management there. Close coordination with Corey Swizzo and the rest of his team with the county.
No, we're very, very happy with Corey and the direction he is taking our emergency operations and the emergency management division of the county. That emergency operations center, I don't know if you've had a chance to go in there and visit yet. It's amazing, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, yes, it is. It is really prepared for any contingency, it seems.
It is. It's a very storm hardened building, and we're just very grateful to the county for putting this right here where it's centrally located and could be the what if we do have another big disaster coming through here, or a small one, it's perfectly positioned to serve the residents of the county. Also want to remind everybody too that June 1st is the start of hurricane season. And people may have been hearing talk about, this is a possible super El Nino year, which would have a quieting effect on storms. And maybe if that's the case, that's not a bad thing at all, even though it does have other ramifications for other parts of the world that aren't so good. But one of the things to keep in mind is that El Nino years, even if there are not that many storms, there can still be bad ones. So I'll just take you back to 1992. That was an El Nino year. The first named storm that year didn't happen until middle of August, and that was Hurricane Andrew, for those of you that were around here back then and remember that. And Andrew was a Cat 5 monster. It was sort of like a fairly small, localized cyclone, but it was very devastating when the center went across for about a 30, 40-mile wide area, and that was just there was a nasty, nasty storm. Again, that was the first named storm of that particular hurricane season. So,
yeah. Well, John, also I'll make mention quickly that just down the road in Marathon, they'll be hosting the NOAA Caribbean Hurricane Awareness Tour.
Yes.
That stop happens next week, and I believe it's on Tuesday.
I believe it's on Tuesday as well, and the public is going to get a chance to go in and see one of those wonderful aircraft they have.
Yep, yeah, hurricane hunters, so to speak, and there'll be a lot of representatives, including the head of the Hurricane Center, the National Hurricane Center, and a lot of our local Hurricane Center meteorologists, et cetera, will all be on hand. So the public is invited to the Millionaire East Flight area there at the Marathon Marathon Airport, called it that, which soon could be another national or international airport as well. A lot of talk about that.
That'd be really nice.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome. Even some talk about Marathon becoming a port of call for cruise ships, et cetera. A lot going on there in your vicinity. But let's also talk about City Hall. Speaking of storm readiness, et cetera, City Hall moving forward for Key Colony Beach as well.
City Hall is moving forward. We're doing construction there in leaps and bounds, and we're trying to keep everything moving. And we had initial substantial completion date of September. I believe that may have been moved back a little bit, but we're still hoping by the end of this year to be pretty much in our new City Hall. And we're going to have, speaking of emergency operations centers, our police department on the second floor of the building will also house the city's emergency operations center. And that's where city folk will be able to, our essential personnel who is staying behind will be able to be in a storm hardened building there and be able to take care of the city of Key Colony Beach. So we can't wait for that to be done. I know this is one of those, Jerry Garcia, but a long, strange trip it's been kind of things. But we're making progress. It's happening, and there's a lot of residents are really excited about it too. You can tell.
Yeah, very well. Well, you can find out more and stay up on the latest developments in the city of Key Colony at keycolonybeach.net, where you will find a lot of information and resources available there. John Bardis, Administrator for the city of Key Colony Beach on Good Morning Keys. Well, you've got a busy time there, especially with hurricane preparedness and emergency management, a lot of coordination going on, and City Hall, and anything else we should be mentioning at this time, John?
Well, I want to just give a shout out to the Turtle Hospital. They're celebrating their 40th anniversary this year. And the Greater Marathon Chamber of Commerce's Business After Hours is going to have a celebration over there at the Turtle Hospital. They're going to throw us a huge party. And Adrian Z and I will be singing at this event. So
excellent.
Come on by.
And that is that tonight? When
that is tonight, 5:30 over at the Turtle Hospital.
Excellent. Well, we encourage people to come by and celebrate there as well. So, John, thank you for all that you do, and thanks for sharing all of the good news out of Key Colony Beach with us here. But I will let you get back to your busy day. And again, we appreciate your visit.
Michael, thanks so much, and thanks for doing what you do as well.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Take care. John Bardis with us. He's the administrator, City of Key Colony Beach. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. And we'll be joining Glenn Beck here shortly. Lots of developments everywhere, worldwide in particular. And there's breaking news. As well, it occurs at a moment's notice. We'll have breaking news as soon as it happens, always keeping you engaged and informed, as well as local, state, national news every half hour.
Key West is on the move with Key West Rides. Our transit service is customized for your transportation needs. With the Key West Rides app, you choose your bus stop pickup and drop-off locations, and you ride the bus on your own schedule. You can book a ride for now or book one for later. Key West Rides operates daily from 6 a.m. to 8:15 p.m. Download the app now and customize your ride with Key West Rides.
Monroe County families, get ready for the Monroe County School District's kindergarten kickoff. During the week of April 20th through the 23rd, our K-8 and elementary schools will host special kickoff sessions to welcome our newest learners. Join us as we welcome new families into our caring, student-centered schools. Meet our exceptional teachers, explore bright kindergarten classrooms, and see why Monroe County School District is the best choice for your child's first school experience. Upon registration, your family receives our exclusive Playing Our Way to Kindergarten game, filled with fun readiness activities, safety lessons, and parent videos to help your child feel confident and prepared. Choose Monroe County Schools for strong early learning, safe and inclusive schools, and a joyful start to your child's educational journey. For dates and times of specific school sessions, visit our website at keyschools.com. Your child's journey of learning starts now with the MCSD Kindergarten Kickoff.
Step back in time. Step back into Old Town. Step into Old Town Bakery with fresh baked treats like pastries, cookies, brownies, and fresh breads made every morning. Enjoy hot and cold, delicious ground coffee, always brewing, and handcrafted breakfast and lunch sandwiches made to order on oven fresh breads. And now, Old Town Bakery features spinach mushroom feta quiche and ham and cheese quiche, delectable for breakfast or lunch by the slice. Get a whole quiche pie by ordering in store with 24 hours advance notice. Enjoy new cream-filled croissants with chocolate or vanilla filling and award-winning fresh baked pies, including their key lime pie, voted the best in the Keys. Pick up their unique Old Town Bakery t-shirts for a friend or yourself and give the gift of deliciousness with a gift card available for purchase in store. And their catering menu is available to make that next event memorable. Old Town Bakery on the corner of Eaton and Grinnell. Stop in or order online. Old Town Bakery, KeyWest.com.
Do you want a reliable, fast, and convenient way to travel between the mainland and the Keys? The Dade Monroe Express is your solution. Service runs early morning through late evening, 7 days a week. Whether you're commuting or just visiting, Dade Monroe Express has got you covered. And the best part? You can try it for free. Visit trytransitfree.com and select Dade Monroe Express. Don't wait. Discover a stress-free way to travel to and from the Keys. The Dade Monroe Express is operated by Miami-Dade Transit.